द्वितीयतु अकालनिर्भय आत्मलिङ्ग शिवतु आत्मलिङ्ग शिवतु आत्मलिङ्ग शिवतु.
Om Sri Sai Ram, offering my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our most beloved Lord. Respected Director Madam, dear senior faculty members, colleagues, research scholars, and my dear loving students, Sai Ram to one and all. Bhagavan had established the educational institutions not merely to enable students to earn a living, but to make them acquire good traits, lead ideal lives, and give them ethical, moral, and spiritual strength. The education helps to cultivate self knowledge and self confidence. So each and every one can learn self sacrifice and earn self realization. Bhagavan says health is a state of complete harmony of the body, mind, and spirit. Therefore, a well balanced and nutritious diet is essential for a healthy body and healthy mind. It is said exercise is king, nutrition is queen. Put them together and you have got a kingdom. So, in Sai's kingdom, the rigorous plan of the content curriculum that includes the academic and co-curricular activities that are woven together for the all-round development of students. Today, we are going to hear from a student who had blossomed into a beautiful flower and proved herself what each and everyone can achieve in life. Because the task ahead is never as great as the power behind you. That is the power of God. It is my pleasant duty to introduce today's speaker, Deputy Commandant Niharika, with Indian Coast Guard with a flying experience of 2,800 plus hours on board Dornier aircraft. She had served the organization for 8 long years from December 2011 and retired in December 2019, and currently working as plant HR head at Macleods Pharmaceuticals. As a veteran, she had represented Indian Coast Guard at several interactions with corporate firms, successfully conducted 6 live search and rescue missions, and saved 93 lives at sea. She is the 6th Lady Flight Navigator and Mission Coordinator of Indian Coast Guard, captained missions in multi-force national level exercises, conducted numerous workshops on child abuse, completed various courses like divisional officer duties, logistics, purchase and financial management from INS Hamla, Mumbai, law and operation course at Coast Guard Training Center, Kochi, trained in command, leadership and ethics from Center for Leadership and Behavioral Sciences, Kochi, NBCD and firefighting from Nuclear Biological Chemical Defense School, Lonavala, Flight Navigator and Mission Coordinator course from Observer School, Kochi, Airfield Operation and Aviation Safety Management from School of Naval Airmen, Kochi. Above all, she has completed her Bachelor of Science majoring in physics from the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Anandapur campus in the year 2011. Please welcome Madam Niharika.
Om Sri Sai Ram. I offer my humble pranams at the lotus feet of Swami. I pray that he may speak through me. Dear Swami, please ensure that this talk goes on calmly and smoothly, and I am able to pass my ideas across to my dear sisters. Firstly, Sai Ram to one and all. I would like to begin my talk with a question. Would you like your day to be a mix of completing missions coupled with practicing march past, or as we know, parade, organizing a get together, doing administrative work, and couple it with some physical exercises as well. So now I would like to show you a video of how life in Coast Guard can be. Okay, looks like Swami wants me to narrate it without any video. So be it. I think we'll wait for one last time.
We have one rule. Family always comes first. And with our family, we believe in unity and trust. For when our family of 1 billion wake up, they feel safe knowing that we are ready to safeguard their dreams, protect their passion, steadfast and steady. With every wave comes a new challenge, but not strong enough to throw us off balance. We float above the sea. We also fly over it. For when you're stuck in the dark, like a ray of hope, a new challenge we embark. Here, a call for help never goes unheard. Always watching, always vigilant, always undeterred. No matter how deep the sea, to save lives, we challenge the course of destiny. There are days we heal wounds and wipe away tears. And days we guard our loved ones and eliminate all fears. Some days we attend classrooms, take lectures. Other days we attend emergencies in choppers. We battle monsters that hide among the sea, disguised to look ordinary. We risk it all to stand tall, always protecting our family. We fight the ocean, and some days we fight for the ocean. Here we look up to Mondays and Tuesdays and other days. We have our eyes everywhere. The sea, the land, the air.
So, sisters, here you see a Dornier aircraft that is actually throwing a life raft. And by Swami's grace, I was destined and lucky enough to be throwing the life raft for people in distress. So, this talk is a chronicle of my journey from being an Anantapur student to working in the Indian Coast Guard as a flight navigator. Can we have the rest of the video, please?
Because no 2 days are alike, each day a different surprise. For this is our home, and this is our family. We must give it our all to protect freedom, dreams, and our diversity. We are the Indian Coast Guard, and we love a different challenge every day.
So, I really hope that it was a hair raising video designed in such a way so that more and more people get inspired to join the armed forces. Now, I would like to begin with my inspiration. It would be surprising that till date, I do not know who is my inspiration. I mean, I don't know her name. I just saw an Air Force officer who came on her two-wheeler, and there was a helicopter that landed. She received the officers, smartly saluted them, and then she left. And since that day, I have wanted desperately to don that uniform and to belong to the armed forces. Sisters, it would be surprising to believe that whatever smallest desires that I have prayed for to Swami in the 3 years of my study duration, Swami has made sure that each and every tiny desire of mine is fulfilled. There have been times that maybe I have forgotten about those wishes or those prayers, but not Swami. For example, the first wish to join the armed forces. Every year, I would wait for the advertisement to appear and pray to Swami that please make sure that when I appear for the exams, I crack them. Swami blessed me that I cracked the CDS exam, the Air Force Common Admission Test, literally all the exams that I was appearing. Then the second wish, I wanted to join a job, just get a job by December 2011. And as you might have noticed, I was commissioned in December 2011. So after my 3 years, of course, there was a time when I was preparing for these exams, and there was a time when I was not actually able to utilize the values that were provided in the Anantapur campus. But and that time I thought that, okay, I am waiting to see how I can appear and how I can apply these values. That is when I appeared for the SSB exam. The SSB exam is basically a test of your personality. It will put you into different molds, different situations, and then see how you react. So, let me inform you at the outset that nobody gets pass or fail result in the SSB. Either you are recommended or you're not recommended. Now, the molding that happens in Anantapur campus, where right from the first day you are entrusted with responsibilities. It could be minor, like be something as simple as room duty or the self reliance, okay, where in the beginning you are just maybe serving lunch or dinner. It The responsibilities slowly increase. For example, if you are in dispensary, something that I was, so the first year was all about tending to sisters who are sick. The second year included additional responsibilities. The final year, you are entrusted with even more duties. So, as you see, this gives us a sense of duty, of ownership. We learn to take decisions, we learn to take action, and also ownership. That is, if we are successful, then the entire team takes a credit. Otherwise, you take the fall. So this was one such occasions where all the lady officers in the Indian Coast Guard of my unit that was at Daman, we were celebrating Women's Day. Now, after appearing in the exam, what comes is the medicals. The medicals can be pretty extensive and exhausting. And Swami again arranged accommodation in every small detail for me. So after getting the good news that I have been recommended, I I was received a shock when I saw that I was not able to clear the medicals, and that too for a small reason called knock knee. Okay, so knock knee is a condition where the knees are joined, and on medical grounds you can be rejected. I actually could see my dreams shattering in front of me. I prayed to Swami that, Swami, you know how desperately I want to join. And after coming this far, please don't let me get medically out. Okay. And let my dream not remain unfulfilled. So that was a time when I came to Super Speciality Hospital. I stayed in Parthi for a few days. And when I visited the doctor and told him my predicament, I told him that what are the results of the medical exam? It is surprising. And it was like a prophecy. He said, no, you don't have knock knee. Maybe they just want to see how badly you want to join. To my surprise and utter happiness, once I went to the review board, that is a board where you can appeal so that your remedical is done. I cleared. Now then comes the final part, whether I will make it to the merit list or not. I was desperately waiting for the results, but for some reason, I don't know why, that year the results were pretty delayed. And to my surprise, I was on a tour when I got to know that I have cleared, and I stood first in the order of merit. So that was one way that I was assured of joining the Indian Coast Guard. Now, that was also a time where I was desperately trying for all forces. It was not just Coast Guard. I need to be honest with you. I was trying for Army, Air Force, Navy. And Navy, there was a particular course wherein you can get into the flying branch. So that did get me excited because what better is it than to maybe, get into flying, become a pilot or a flight navigator or an operations specialist and all. But there was one glitch that our results were declared, but our mark sheets were not available. Like it happens quite early in April 2012. Sorry, April 2011. So I said, okay, Swami, if you don't wish that I appear for this course, then fine. I'll apply for something else. And to my surprise, after I joined Coast Guard and completed my basic training, when it was time, I got lucky and was able to join the flight navigator course. And incidentally, I did the very course that I was not able to join in the Navy, but I joined it through Indian Coast Guard. I would now like to begin with my academy training, details of which I can definitely talk for hours and hours, but for this class sake, I'll restrict it to 1 hour. So in the academy, the first and foremost thing that strikes you is discipline. Okay. You can't laugh loudly. You are expected to behave in a certain way. And most importantly, your physical endurance as well as your mental strength is tested to the hilt. Why? Because I was a person who could not even run the 400 meters race. I still remember Sharanya ma'am. She had encouraged me that Niharika, it's just for the sake of points, just finish the race. And I was panting. And from there, academy challenged and changed me to a person who would run 5 to 6 kilometers, do push-ups, okay, pull-ups, sit-ups, everything that you can imagine. So this is the conditioning that the academy training provides you, and how it does is almost similar in how as to what happens in Anantapur. Like, you have seniors, you trust them, and they lead you. It is not very different from what happens in Anantapur. For example, if you wind back the clock, then you will remember when you first joined as a fresher or in the first year, you did not know anything, you were missing your parents, maybe you did not know how to drape a sari, and the routine seemed way too hectic. It felt like the campus expects you to do 10, 100, like 100 things in one day. But trust me, this is how our campus prepares us for life ahead. So in academy, the first few initial few days, it took me some time to get acclimatized with that sort of routine. But thanks to our Suprabhatam sessions, I was able to wake up maybe some days 4 o'clock, okay, 3:30, 4 o'clock, whatever the task demanded, and then get up. Then you'll have a round of PT, followed by a round of parade, then some classes, then swimming classes, and maybe horse riding classes where you are camping, you are rowing. So all these things would constantly happen, keep happening, and I did not even get a moment to basically sit and think. Of course, there were no thoughts except apart from just when do I get to sleep next or when do I get to eat next. These were the two thoughts that would always accompany me at any particular time. So there is one incident that I remember particularly. It was our first gunnery class, and our instructor, he was showing us different guns and how to fire them, what are the safety precautions. I remember one line he said, that earlier we would aim to kill, but now our aim is to injure. So that actually got me into tears, because it was a time when I did not even know that whether my dream is even correct or wrong. Did Swami actually want me? Does he like his students to join defense forces where your aim is you will kill if necessary, okay, without regret, you will have to? Or did he just give in to my continuous prayers and desperate calls for help? So that was a question that was there. And it was answered after 8 months. So this question came in January of 2012, and it was answered in August 2012, when one of my senior, I don't know how adept he is at Bhagavad Gita, but he would always quote one line saying that Lord Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, and I quote, "You do whatever that needs to be done for the country's sake, and God will forgive you." Uh, I never took the pains to verify this, but that statement was enough for me, that whatever I'm doing, if it is for the country, then so be it. Whether it takes for me to injure someone or whether it takes to track and target the enemy does not matter. But because there is a Shetwood code in the defense forces, okay, I'll summarize it. What it says is the safety, my country comes first, and then comes the welfare, safety, well-being of my men, okay, and then at last comes my welfare. So in the armed forces, the one thing that is taught from the very beginning is discipline and, of course, leadership, because you are entrusted to lead. I do not know how many of you have, a few of you might have seen at least Sher Shah, the latest movie. And there is one incident which is very true, that Captain Batra, Captain Vikram Batra, in his last charge, he did not actually have to go. The task could have been done by a Sipahi. But then Captain Vikram Batra said, "Tu hat ja, tu baal bacche wala hai," meaning that just move. You have a family. But then didn't Vikram Batra sir have a family? He had. But that is the kind of ownership and camaraderie that you develop towards the men in your unit. Okay. And he charged fearlessly and was martyred. So, sisters, what I'm trying to tell you over here is that the armed forces teach you that being a leader is not just commanding men or men and women. It is not about even issuing directions. No, it is about being there. If you are there for someone when he or she actually needs it, and if you lead them the way they are supposed to, if you show them that whatever you are expecting from them, you can also do it, because then you will actually know the pains and what it takes, the pains, the efforts that it takes. For example, here you can see me camping and we are sitting dejected because we lost our way. But then did we take it lying down? No, we got up, we took it as a challenge and made sure that we reached the camping site in time to win the competition. So you're also expected to not give up. Why? Because as Swami always encourages us, you can be anything or any person that you want to be if you work hard for it. And what's more, like Meera ma'am graciously said, that always remember the problem in front of you is always smaller than the power that is behind you. And sisters, we have the power of Saima, who has the strength of thousands of warriors, who has the love and affection of a thousand mothers. After coming to the academy training, I'll get on to the flying training. Being from a non aviation background, wherein I did not even sit in an aircraft before joining the course, to going to a stage where I was able to comfortably operate a radar, then another automatic information system, several systems altogether, coordinate missions. So, this again is because of the training that was provided, a 14-month long training, which again tested us mentally because you are expected to perform under stress. And this again, I would like to connect with our Anantapur training, that you don't have comfortable days. No, you don't. You have days that you have to wake up early. You're expected to juggle, be it sports meet time or be it examinations time. You are expected to juggle a lot of things. Our campus teaches us time management, people management, and most importantly, empathy. This was tested to me in my flying training, where initially I faltered because I was not able to cope up with the amount of learning that I had to do, because I actually joined this job hoping that I would not have to study more. It turns out I was very wrong. Okay. So I had to study a lot. Then again, plan for the flying sorties. Like a flying mission is called a sortie. So plan for all that. And even after that, balance 100 other things. So that is when it was a low point for me, when I again reached out to Swami, that Swami, this is not how I would like to perform. Please bless me with strength so that I can crack this course. Okay, I can rise up to expectations of yours and mine as well. Sisters, you will not believe that is exactly what happened. What seemed to be a humongous task for me suddenly became easy because he was there with me. And how he showed me was that I went to a library once, a naval library. So you will expect to find most books on naval aviation or naval history and all that. When all of a sudden, I see a bunch of books related to Swami. It was so shocking and surprising that I literally gasped and I fell down. Okay. That was one signal when Swami said, I am with you. Just march on. Just bash on regardless. I took it up as a challenge and continued. Then comes the operations part. So I always believe that man proposes, God disposes. But if I propose something, then Swami tends to dispose it immediately. So there were three places that I did not want to be posted in. That was Porbandar, Daman, and Chennai. And trust me, those are the three places I actually got posted to. First Porbandar, then Daman, and then Chennai. But the reason, like, see, Swami knows the future, and then he plans our present. So when I was posted in Porbandar, I actually got to fly one of the most well-known missions of Indian Coast Guard. You could look it up. What happened on 31st December 2014 in Porbandar? There was a Pakistani boat that had come in. So I was able to witness it firsthand, and I don't think such a chance can be gotten by at any other unit. So thank you, Swami, for giving me that chance. In the operations part, there were several instances where we had live search and rescue operations going on. Like on 4th of April 2015, when there was the first live search and rescue operation, we were just flying a normal routine aircraft sortie. When all of a sudden we hear a call, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. And that would be the nightmare of any mariner or aviation or any aviator, because that means that my life is in danger. Please help me. Uh, Luckily, by Swami's grace, we were able to reach the place where people needed help, and I coordinated with the nearby authorities. There was a ship that was coming, but more importantly was the panic that was stricken in these people's face. Because if we do not reach in time, then they are doomed to drown in the sea. And I reiterate over here that we were in an aircraft, so all we could do was to hover on top of them. Oh, sorry, not hover, but we could circle them. So they had that assurance that yes, help is coming. And all the while we were talking to them, trying to keep them calm, saying that no, it's okay. And finally, when one boat was flooded, we gave them this idea that switch off all your equipments, save your power, and save your communication devices for the time when it is of utmost importance. So when we were talking, they actually became a little calm, and we helped them to shift to another boat. But as luck would have it, even that boat got grounded. So when a ship gets grounded, it means that it has hit rock bottom. Like how in the Titanic movie, the ship doesn't get ground. There is actually a hole caused by the iceberg. So over here, it is because of the rocky seabed. But thankfully, again, Swami made sure that help reached out to them in time, and we were able to save at least 6 lives on that day. So this was one of the search and rescue operations. Then there was another operation I would like to mention. Was again, it was a routine flying where we were carrying out aerial surveillance to ensure that there are no unwanted targets who are coming into the Indian Ocean region. That is our area, okay, India's. So that was a time when we hear another distress call saying that it is a merchant ship, a huge ship, and it has cargo worth millions and millions of dollars. And it caught fire. So again, when our life is in danger, you can actually make out the desperation in the person's voice. The person gave out a call saying, Mayday, 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 our ship is on fire. So in aviation, there is a saying that aviate, navigate, communicate. So first you make sure that you reach that place. And we could actually see smoke billowing out. That was a time when we were able to, because you are at a higher altitude, or you are at a greater height. So you are able to communicate to more people. And we relayed their distress call to other ships. And there is a very beautiful feeling of reaching out to help in the seas. So ships which are even at a distance of 24 hours responded saying that I will divert my course, just tell me if I need to come. Now Coast Guard is basically the coordinating authority for all search and rescue operations in the sea, and as a result of which I was able to take command and make sure that the necessary help is diverted to them in time. Luckily, help again reached out to them in time, and there was no loss of life. But yes, a little, some of the goods were damaged, but honestly, we could not do more about it. And now I would like to come to the most exciting flying of my life. That was one day when it was an eventful day, because firstly the weather was not suitable for flying, but we knew that there could be more and more incidents or distress calls, so that's the reason why we took off. And after we took off, the first call of distress we hear is that from an air, from a ship saying that its containers have fallen into the ocean, and that would be a hazard for others. So luckily, we were able to relay it to all the ships nearby, saying that when you are navigating, just look out for those containers. Now, containers are huge, almost the size of rooms, if you have seen them outside. We were heading back to the base when there was another call saying that another ship has run aground. Firstly, it has lost its engine controls. So the ship is just going wherever the sea is tossing it. The mariners, they don't have any option. So we made them understand that fine, we will relay the distress call to the nearby ships and tell them that okay, they are supposed to be diverted to that ship at the earliest. But again, there was panic. So it involved listening and coordinating another exercise where helicopters were dispatched from our units. And as you would have seen in the video, how people are rescued from the sea is that there is something called a winch. Okay, a winch is dropped into the ocean. The person fastens himself, attaches himself to the winch, and the person is pulled up. So that way there were a total of 12 rescues. Like basically the entire crew was rescued. And unfortunately the ship could not be saved. Okay, it sunk. But we were happy that at the end of the day we were able to save 12 lives, all in the time of duration of maybe 45 minutes. So sisters, what I would like to emphasize is that the armed forces is a way of life that is different. It is different, it is demanding, it can be difficult. There is no denying that. But then, trust me, the kind of deeds that we have, be it discipline, determination, dedication, most importantly, devotion. So, with that, we can definitely live a life. And life in the armed forces can be very, very rewarding. The reason why I'm trying to encourage all of you to appear or to aspire for joining in the armed forces is first and foremost the kind of pride that you get when you are serving the nation knows no bounds. And that is something that even if I try to explain a lot, you will not experience it full fledged until you don a uniform or until you do something that is worthy of the tricolor. Okay, you imagine you donning a uniform, okay, uniform of the armed forces and getting to salute the flag, be it on 15th August, 26th January, or let me tell you, each and every day. This was a photo when I was again just about to throw the life raft. So opening the door of an aircraft is a little risky because there is chances of accidents happening. But the kind of training that is provided that actually strengthens your belief that yes, you can do it. All you need to do is believe in yourself and believe in God. So now I would like to move on to the next part where I tell you more about how to get in and what are the various options. Okay. So till date, what actually Indian armed forces offer for lady officers is short service. Until and unless you are a doctor or very few options are open. But now, with the recent Supreme Court ruling on a permanent commission being offered to lady officers, there are a lot of avenues that are open. You can be a person from accounts, you can be a meteorologist, you can get into teaching, you can get into training, you or else if you're made for missiles, ammunition, and all, you can get into that as well. What is more, even the combat arms are opening up for women. Like you can be a flight navigator, you can be a pilot, even a fighter pilot. Like we have example of three lady fighter pilots, okay, in the Indian Air Force. Sisters, I'm waiting for any of you, actually all of you, to join this beautiful world. Why? Because it gives you confidence. It gives you a wonderful exposure. It it teaches you that with discipline and with belief, you can achieve anything. Literally, the sky is the limit. So I would like all of you to think about it. And there is one more point I would like to add. Like several of you might be aiming for the civil service exams. Okay. It's a wonderful service, definitely. But then if you join the armed forces as a short service commissioned officer, you gain something more. You gain exposure, you gain confidence. The whole world opens up for you. And also, there is a slight reservation that short service commissioned officers have. You have, apart from age relaxation, okay, you have a window of around 8 to 10 years in which you can adequately prepare yourself to crack these exams. That is, if that is what you wish for. But then, if going on missions or dealing with arms, ammunitions, logistics, administration, teaching, any of this is your forte, the armed forces would like to welcome you. It invites you to a life that is challenging, that is different from the ordinary. There is a catch can in the Air Force that in most of the services, you are expected to meet targets, but in Air Force, you are expected to shoot them down. So, sisters, I could ramble about this for much longer, but now let me focus on what are the exams that you need to clear and the pattern of the exams. So, basically, there are written exams that are conducted, like Combined Defense Service exams, CDS exams, or the AFCAT, that is Air Force Common Admission Test. Okay, these are conducted twice a year. You need to appear for them. If you clear, you are eligible to appear for the SSB exam. The SSB exam is a battery of tests administered over a period of 5 days. The first day is screening, where you are essentially checked if you have leadership qualities. There are around 16 OLQs, officer like qualities. Okay. Wherein that includes like honesty, leadership, and the ability decision making. So you are tested on all that. If you clear the screening, you stay on for the next 4 days, making it a 5 day test. If you are recommended, okay, so then you pass on to the next phase, wherein there are medical exams. Okay, if you clear the tests, then comes the merit list. That is, whoever has appeared for these exams, they will all be merited. And if you come in the merit list, that is when you can join. And what do I say about the training? You are trained at premium institutes, like be it the Indian Naval Academy or the Officers Training Academy. And I can tell you there are several other schools which are known actually worldwide for their expertise and the kind of training that they provide. Okay. But I leave it up to you to check out all those training centers. And sorry, one last point that I forgot to mention is when you join as a commissioned officer, you get to be a class one gazetted officer. Okay. So that would be definitely a moment of pride for your parents, for your entire family. So, sisters, I would now like to open up for questions. If anyone has any queries, be it about life or how to join or what are the facilities or anything, then I'm open for questions. Okay. And yeah, if anybody is interested in shattering the glass ceiling, anybody is interested in proving that women are no lesser than men, okay, they're just different, but we can do things, we can achieve targets and do them our way, then the armed forces are a definite and welcoming avenue and option for you. Thank you so much for your patient listening, all of you. I would like to thank the director and the entire faculty, Meera ma'am, Dharini sister, and all the entire team for making sure that this goes on very smoothly. Sisters, my talk is actually a birthday gift from Swami because Meera ma'am contacted me on my birthday asking that if I could. And what better than to interact with my alma mater? So thank you so much. And Sairam.
That was a wonderful and an inspiring talk. Thank you so much for sharing with our young minds. A tip for the youngsters is be strong and courageous. For the Lord will be with you wherever you go. Whatever the task you take up, make Bhagavan feel proud of his daughter. Now I request Ms. Sai Darshini, research scholar from the Department of Food and Nutritional Sciences, to give the vote of thanks. Before that, if there is any queries, please type. There is one question, uh, Niharika, apart from preparing for written test, what other preparation do we need to take for entering into armed forces?
Get physically fit.
Yes.
Okay. Because once you're physically fit, you are mentally more active, you are more confident about yourself.
Yes, that's by Miss Anjusri Raju. And another question is, how tough are the medical examinations?
Uh,
How strict are the
it is not
acceptance regulations for eyesight? This is by Bibasha Pradhan.
Yes, most of them expect a 6 by 6 vision. Sorry, but then there are several people I know who are bespectacled and they are still in the armed forces. So it depends on the power. But yes, 6 by 6 is expected, and especially in branches like flying and all, it is mandatory.
Yes, thank you. And another question is, how did you prepare for your examinations during your college time?
Read the Hindu newspaper cover to cover. Okay. Keep yourself abreast with general knowledge or what are the happenings. The editorial is especially very helpful. Please do not miss that out. So even if you're not preparing for any exam, you will develop an understanding, have an opinion of what is happening. Okay. Uh, it's not a time that we can remain indifferent to happenings around us, and it helps. Such editorials help.
Yes, can a BA student join the Air Defense Corps team?
Defense, bachelor, BA, depends on like what is the subject exactly. Okay. And they can join Indian Coast Guard, but in 10+2, they need to have maths and physics combination, at least 60% in that.
Yes, thank you. I hope you are satisfied, Ms. Rhea. And another question uh, is there any option for food and nutritional students to join in the Navy?
Sorry, ma'am, could you please repeat?
Is there any option for food and nutritional student to join in the Navy?
That depends. If you are a master's, okay, then sorry, food and nutrition, I'm sorry, you don't have.
All right. Actually, one of our student who is done food and nutritional sciences, BSc Home Science, she is a wing commander in
Okay.
Air Force. Then,
So, ma'am, the thing is, requirements keep changing time by time. For example,
yes,
I was able to appear for Navy with a BSc, but maybe a year after we joined, now they have stopped several intakes with BSc. It is only BTech, or if entering through the education sector, then it could be that, okay, fine, you can have an MSc. That in particular subjects like maths, physics, and
yes, yes. Thank you so much for that. And is there any option for bioscience students to join armed forces?
yes, you can join.
Yes.
Okay, depending upon what stream you want. So the best option I would like to tell you is there are official websites like Join Indian Navy, join Indian Air Force, or join Indian Army, wherein you put your gender, your age, and your qualification, and it lists out what all roles you are eligible to apply.
All right, thank you. Another question
Okay, you
is,
could be an ATC officer. You could be controlling fighter aircrafts. Okay, or if you get an M Tech in future, or a B Tech. Okay, if someone you know has, then they can even get into like cyber security. There are actually numerous options available.
yes, and thank you so much for that. And another question is from Miss Radha. Is there any opportunity for those who are having eye defect?
Like I said, it depends on firstly, what is the extent of the eye problem, and second, what is the branch that you are aspiring for. For example, education branch in Navy does not have too much of strict eyesight requirements, but then for flying, 6 by 6 is mandatory.
Yes, another question that pops up is, yes, can ma'am share contact number for if we need any further help? Yes, definitely,
Yes,
madam will share
definitely.
with you all.
I will type it out in the comments.
Yes, please. And another question, does our institute give the necessary training for all the exams of armed forces? Actually, children, okay, Niharika can answer and then I will follow it up.
Uh, Sorry, ma'am, could you please repeat that?
Does our institute give the necessary training for all the exams of armed forces?
Not directly, but indirectly, yes. Okay, because you are provided with newspapers are not stopped. Okay, you can get a lot of reading material. You will have questions on GK, English, numerical ability, and apart from that, general current happenings and all. So this is the way our institute gives us training. Now, as I said, in the SSB there is a section called situation reaction test, SRT, wherein a particular situation is given to you, and you're expected to answer it. So those sort of things happen in our institute day in and day out. Okay, like someday maybe you are in lunch serving, there is less of lunch, or there is some unexpected guest. You tackle them, right? So this sort of training is provided. Yes,
Yes, thank you so much for that. And another question is, um, can we apply for Navy? Is there any height criteria?
yes, there is a height criteria, but again, I am 5'2" and I got in. Okay, so I think it is average. But there is certain relaxation that is provided to, I think, people from the northeast. There is a relaxation. Okay, northeast, or from up in north, I think Himachal and all. But yes, if you are 5'1", 5'2", you can get in.
Yes, I hope that answers your question. Any age constraint for the career?
Yes, it is around 25 to 26. Depends on type of entry. For example, if you are law entry, then you can easily enter even up to 27 years. But on an average, till 24 or 24, 25, all basically all avenues are open.
And thank you so much for that. And another question is, did you take some course before you went for SSB exam?
No, no course. I read about the exam pattern in detail, and nowadays you have a lot of help from various websites or even YouTube channels. Like there is something called SSB Crack. Okay, it publishes the past year's question paper and all that. But yes, I did go through Competition Success Review, those sort of magazines.
Okay, thank you so much for all the patient answering for all the queries. Since the time is very short, Now I request, and other questions will be taken up later. Now I request Ms. Saidarshini, the research clerk from the Department of Food and Nutritional Sciences, to give the vote of thanks.
Om Shri Sairam, offering my most humble pranams at the Divine Lotus feet. A grateful and a warm morning greetings to all present here. The secret of happiness is freedom, and the secret of freedom is courage. On the behalf of the entire fraternity of the college, I extend my most sincere thanks to the Lord for giving us the opportunity to listen to the inspirational life journey of Mrs. Niharika. I extend my heartfelt gratitude for spending your valuable time with us, and I sincerely thank you for enlightening us with your experience of being an Indian Coast Guard. Madam, your thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown us a new path to conquer as a soldiers. Words are not enough to thank you for your inspiration and encouragement. Thank you so much for being with us, ma'am. Thank you.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्य परिपालयन्ता न्यायेन मार्गेण महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु
समस्तलोका